It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine.
Well, Jeff, in the cover story for the magazine, you write about the plight of middle-class, upper-middle-class investors, and your conclusions are pretty pessimistic. But before you got through grief to acceptance, there was some degree of frustration.
Anger. Yeah,
I felt some frustration in both in
well,
talking.
Look, the piece is about, I mean, it's about what to do with your broker. In part, it's about what to do with your broker. And the interesting thing about my broker, my financial advisor. my financial advisor.
What do they call him? Broker? Oh,
I'm not mad at him because he had me invest in Citigroup or AIG. A lot of people invested in AIG and Citigroup.
Right.
I'm mad that he stopped calling me after a while.
You got dumped by your broker?
I got dumped by my broker.
Yeah.
I got dumped because they had nothing to say.
Right.
They have nothing to say.
But isn't that exactly when you wanted to talk to him? When the market's going down and you're nervous and you want some advice?
Of course. But one of the things that many people told me is that you're too small. We don't have enough money to make ourselves really interesting to the top flight money managers. If you have $300,000, $500,000, $1 million, even $2 million, $3 million.
Right.
That's not that exciting if you have the dream of becoming a billionaire hedge fund manager.
Right.
So what you're left with, are these Jiffy Lube kind of places. They'll take your money, they'll invest it in the same things that everybody else is being invested in, and they're not going to spend that much time.
At one point in the story, you're telling this anecdote of you're standing in a co-op on Fifth Avenue, overlooking the park, and a philanthropic event, and you're talking to basically these Tom Wolfe masters of the universe, hedge fund traders and people who are quite wealthy, even by Wall Street standards, and they're telling you, buy gold, or we're going to move to a barter economy.
I did buy gold. I bought 2 ounces of gold. It didn't close a mine. Let's put it that way. They didn't have to close a mine after I bought my gold. But then immediately another guy says, "Oh, you don't want to buy gold. You want to be heavy in the dollar. You want to be long in the dollar." I don't even know how to be long in the dollar. I mean, I have money in a checking account. I suppose that makes me long in the dollar. But one of the things I realized was that nobody actually knows what they're talking about.
Right. At one point in the story, you find yourself talking to a survivalist out in
Arizona. Yeah.
Arizona. How did that happen?
Oh, well, this is this guy I've known about for a while. Read his books. He's not a survivalist like Kill All the Blacks and Jews survivalist.
This is not Ruby Ridge?
No, this is not a Ruby Ridge guy. Yeah. This is a guy who knows how to live out in the desert for a week and find water in rocks if you need to. And it struck me that he had the wisest investment strategy of the last 5 or 6 years of anybody I know. Which is, he says, I don't like investing in the intangible economy. I like investing tangibly. Right. So what does that mean? He says, when he has extra money, he likes to buy land or tools or solar heaters or things that you can actually use. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm getting sound financial analysis from. And he has long, Viking-looking braids, and he wears a bandana, and he eats mice because they're a ready source of protein, and everybody should be ready to do that. And I mean, he's a freak, okay? Yeah. I mean, he's just a freaky guy, but he makes more sense than Merrill Lynch strategy department. So we've got good jobs and make good incomes, and let's not go crazy
have
here.
Some amount of money we've saved over our lives in 401ks. We also have kids who have to go to college and dwindling portfolio.
Tuition doesn't seem to go down, does it?
Are we ever going to retire?
I mean, I have no particular desire to retire ever, because when you have a blog, why would you ever retire? You could see yourself coming to a point when you're 50, 55, 60, your kids are going to college, and your kids are out of college and are going to have weddings, when you have grandchildren, that based on the projections of 5 years ago or 4 years ago, projections I got from my financial advisor, everything was going to be working because I was going to have enough money to pay for all that stuff. Well, right now it doesn't feel that way. And maybe the stock market will go up. Maybe the Dow will be at 10,000 when people are watching this.
Right.
I'm not going to go freak out when it hits 10,000 and double down anymore because I've learned something about riskiness. On the other hand, I don't want to miss a big run up. So this is the terror of it.
We're going right back in.